Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. This is going to be our weekly Red Wings breakdown. I'm just going to break down the games that happened this week, and of course, when the season fully starts, going to go next week on Monday when we have a full week of games. I will break down the two that happened this week, plus all the games that are coming up to exactly what has happened with the Wings. I plan on doing this every week on Mondays for the most part, unless something happens where I can't get the videos out in time, but I should be able to get these videos out on Mondays. Uh, of course, it's going to go Sunday to, Monday to Sunday will be the games that I break down. So starting this week, you do have two games. The only reason it's done on Thursday, right? Because the games are later in the week. So this week they are playing the Devils first in New Jersey. I don't expect them to win this game, but I expect them to be in this game. The Devils are still a really good team. They're one of the better teams in the league, especially in the Metropolitan Division. They won it last year. I expect them to continue to play well this year. Um, Besides maybe their goalie situation too much. They still have Jack Hughes, right? They have Timo Meyer, Nico Hischier, right? They have a few good offensive pieces on their team that are going to help them this year. They also have Dougie Hamilton on the back end and on the defense. So they have some good players still on their team that are probably going to help them this year get to a good spot. I expect them to be a playoff team in the Metropolitan Division. They're going to be a tough game to start the year out. But there is no reason why the Red Wings couldn't win this game. I just don't think they will. They probably will lose either 2-1 or 3-2. It's going to be a close game, but I don't expect you to get shut out this game. I expect you to play well. When goaltending situation for the Devils, you do have Vanacek that's probably going to be in that, or Kincaid. I don't really remember who the starter is. I think it is Vanacek. And they're going to play well. You're not going to have an easy time against the Devils. Hopefully your defense shows up like it looked like it was going to show up in the preseason, and you'll have your chance to actually give them a game and maybe even come out with a lucky win, in my opinion. With the Red Wings in general, they have a good defensive core. You're going to have Petrie and Sherratt together to hopefully play well like they did in Montreal. You're going to have Ali Mata and Gostisbehere together. That should be a good defensive pair. And then your top defensive pair from last year still together in Wallman and Seider. You got the Brinkett and Larkin on that first line. That is going to be a really good line just because both those are there. And from what I've heard, it might be Rasmussen on that first line. But we will see, of course, once the game starts, who's our starting lineup exactly going to look like. You got a lot of good guys that are going to play well together. I was surprised that Berggren did get sent down. I thought he would be on the team, but they kept Fabry in the opening lineup, and Villan was on the team. So Berggren was one that got sent down, which is quite surprising. But I do expect Berggren to be up eventually this year. He is not somebody who's going to be staying in the minors. Moving on to the second game on Saturday, we got the Lightning that day. I am not high on the Lightning this year, even though they still got Vasilevsky on the team. They still got him and Stamkos, Braden Point. They got a lot of good players still on their team. I'm not high on them. I don't think they'll be a playoff team. If anything, they might be a wild card team. But I don't expect them to make the playoffs this year. They're not as good as they used to be ever since Yzerman left. Right, they won their championships right when Yzerman left. That was Yzerman's team. And then they kind of slowly have gone downhill from there. So I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year. I think the Wings, the Senators, the Sabres, they're all going to be teams that are going to be more likely a playoff team, in my opinion, than the Lightning. But I do expect you to beat the Lightning at home on Saturday. That would make it a 1-1 for that first week, 500, perfectly fine. Going into a pretty decent week after that. I think we're averaging about 3 games a week, sometimes 4 games a week. So if you can go into each week with a somewhat winning record, and on occasion you can go ahead and have a losing record for 1 week, you should be good this year. I don't expect much. I do expect a decent amount out of the Wings. I don't expect much in our division outside of the top that have been there constantly. You're not really going to have to worry about Montreal. I don't think you're going to have to worry about Tampa. So the worst you're going for is that you're going to be fighting for that final wild card from our division, because Florida did well last year, but they're always spotty. So they could be really good this year or they could be bad this year. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens in this year. I did predict 99 points, 47 wins for the Red Wings. You're going to vastly improve, in my opinion, this year. I think you could sneak your way to third place. You very well could be a wild card team, but you might be able to sneak your way to third place this year, surprise some people. I'm very high on them. I want the Wings to do good, right? You got the Lions doing good, you get the Wings playing well. Hopefully the Tigers play well next year, and you can start bringing the sports scene back here in Detroit. It is a faster video this week just because, right, it is a short week. It's the first week of doing the breakdown, so I don't got games to break down unless you really, really want me to break down some preseason games after the fact. But we don't need to really do that. With that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and until next time, hope to see everybody soon.